Hey guys, it's been a fun week and we're going to wrap it up today with a couple of mini demonstrations, all using a common theme: rubbing alcohol. I'm sure probably most of you have a bottle of this collecting dust under your bathroom sink and you never really gave much thought to it. Well, hopefully we're going to change that today. Now, at room temperature, this stuff isn't very interesting. You can't even drink it. It has chemicals added to it for the express purpose of making it taste absolutely foul, as well as being lethally toxic. That's why you don't need to be 21 years old to buy it. Lawmakers don't give a shit if you poison yourself, just so long as you don't enjoy it. But I digress. This stuff starts to get really interesting at really cold temperatures and at really high temperatures, by which I mean on fire. So our first mini demo today is going to be making a homemade ice pack. All you need to make your own ice packs is water, rubbing alcohol, and a Ziploc bag, although I do recommend double bagging these to prevent leaks. Now, I realize this is really more of a life hack than a science experiment, but it does demonstrate one of the more interesting properties of alcohol, namely that it freezes at a much lower temperature than water. If you remember from our colored fire demonstration, methyl alcohol is used as a gas line antifreeze, and that's precisely because it takes pretty extreme temperatures to freeze pure alcohol. Here all we've done is mix about 1 cup of rubbing alcohol with about 1.5 cups of water and popped it in the freezer. The water will partially freeze, but the alcohol suspended in that solution keeps the water from freezing completely, so what you're left with is this ice-cold bag of pliable slush. Now frankly, I think these work even better and stay cold longer than the store-bought ice packs. Also, science. Science! Don't worry though, our second demo is a lot more interesting to watch, but unfortunately it means we're gonna have to go outside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a very simple rocket out of an empty bottle and some rubbing alcohol. All you need for this is 91% rubbing alcohol, a plastic bottle with a screw-on cap, a drill, and a lighter or a match. Now you may notice that rubbing alcohol comes in different concentrations, meaning that they have different ratios of alcohol to water. 50%, 70%, and 91% are the most common. You can do any of these demonstrations with any of these concentrations, although some work a little better for some things than for others. For this demonstration, we're going to be using alcohol as a rocket propellant, so we'll want to use the stronger 91% solution. First, drill a small hole in the bottle cap. Then add about 1 ounce of rubbing alcohol to the bottle. Put the cap on, and keep the hole covered with your finger. Shake the bottle vigorously for 2 or 3 minutes. What we're doing here is creating vapor. Like I showed you before with lighter fluid, liquids themselves are not flammable. It's the gaseous vapors that rise from them as they evaporate that actually catch fire. One reason that things like alcohol and gasoline are so flammable is because they evaporate so quickly. Shaking the bottle just speeds up the evaporation process. This is the rail system I have set up. It's just a few old paving stones from my yard and a long L-shaped piece of cardboard. You don't need anything elaborate, you can really just prop the rocket up anywhere. So then we need to pour off any excess alcohol so that it's just the vapor left inside. Place it on our rail.
God, I don't even think I must have got all of that.
There she is. And if you do this right and you don't burn the bottle cap, this bottle rocket will be pretty much reusable for as many times as you want to do it. Fun stuff. Okay, on to the next one. So I've done my best to keep these demonstrations as inexpensive as possible because, I mean, hey, none of us has money to burn. Or do we? Relax, it's obviously just a trick, and a simple one at that. Want to try this one? You only need 3 things. A $1 bill, or larger denomination, depending on how confident you are, 50% rubbing alcohol, and salt. I mentioned earlier that rubbing alcohol burns at a much lower temperature than most alcohols, and that rubbing alcohol is actually a mixture of water and isopropyl alcohol. So, to put it simply, all I did was soak a dollar bill in 50% rubbing alcohol and then lit it. The alcohol ignites very quickly, but it also burns quickly, and at such a low temperature that it completely burns off before it can evaporate the water content, leaving the dollar bill completely unscathed. After burning, it's just slightly warm and damp. Now there is one other piece to this, though. If you remember from the colored fire demonstration, alcohol burns with a blue flame, and sodium burns with a bright yellow flame. So to make the flame more visible, I've just added a bit of salt to the rubbing alcohol before dipping the dollar bill in. See? 1 week and you're already learning how to apply principles of chemistry across different experiments. But hey, why stop at money?
Wow, you are some kind of sorcerer.
So yeah, that is possible to do, even if it's not exactly advisable. Setting fire to yourself is really stupid, even under the best of circumstances. You'd have to be a complete moron to ever want to try that, let alone to do it twice. But since we're on the subject, it would be terribly remiss of me not to show you another way to do the burning hands trick.
Let me show you something!
Now this is a bit of a digression for this video because it doesn't actually involve rubbing alcohol in any way whatsoever, but what the hell. Let's go out with a bang, shall we? Although hopefully not literally. For this little piece of trickery, you'll need water, dish soap, butane lighter fluid, and, of course, a lighter. Now it has to be this kind of butane with the aerosol tip, and you'll see why in a minute. Put some water in a shallow container and add a small amount of the dish soap. Take your butane lighter fluid and push it down on the bottom of the container so that it creates bubbles. These bubbles are now filled with butane gas, not air, and that is the crucial point. Now carefully scoop up a handful of bubbles and ignite. Now, even though that wasn't rubbing alcohol, the principle is pretty much the same. The butane burns off very quickly before it has a chance to heat up the water enough to actually burn your skin. Now, depending on your threshold of pain, you can do this for longer or lesser times. I've been doing this all day with the alcohol and with the butane. I'm a little sensitive, so I didn't leave that on as long as I could have, but come on, give me a break. How many people are willing to set themselves on fire just for your education and entertainment? Alright, I think I have more than fulfilled my quota for reckless and irresponsible behavior for one video. So thank you all for sticking with me through my self-proclaimed Mad Science Week. Who knows, maybe I'll make this an annual thing. There are still plenty of crazy, dangerous, and entertaining principles of science left to explore. If you enjoyed this video, or any of my other videos, or if you just look forward to seeing me seriously injure myself in some future video, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss out. So when I make these videos, I usually do 1 or 2 trial runs first of each demonstration to make sure that they work, and when filming, I sometimes do multiple takes to make sure they look okay on camera. The upshot of it is, I lit my hand on fire about 7 times in the space of an hour. Now I wasn't harmed at all, but during one of the attempts, I didn't get enough water on the back of my hand to protect it, and I ended up burning all the hair off, giving me that characteristic burnt hair smell. Well, naturally, my wife noticed and demanded to know what I'd been up to in the garage all day. Here she is watching the raw footage.
What the hell is that? Are you joking? What the fuck did you do that? What did you dip your hand in?
Oh, watch, it gets better.
I can't believe you did that. Why would you burn your own hand?
Well, when it goes right, it's absolutely harmless. Unfortunately, it went a little bit wrong and I burnt all the hair off.
Did you get hurt?
No, not at all. It just burnt the hair off.
Did you not like coat your hand sufficiently?
I did not coat my hand sufficiently.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to freaking kill you. You're making me laugh, but I'm really mad.